Jacksonville. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. To get us off and running, here's Ryan Santoso. And off we go from Jacksonville. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. It's brought in by Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1. A lot more to go. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll go jet sweep here with Sutton. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a wide out. When you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Another tote for Etienne. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Etienne. And trying to shake free, but Etienne cannot. The defense will stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. One interception. It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try the right side with Harris. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Well, they needed 2. They could only get a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Leading the top yards, they run it with their fullback. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Only needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. ETN once more. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And it's now a 7-0 game. Santoso now to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Andre Sisco. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
From the 22, Lawrence. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up. No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And able to find Kirk complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jags go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point try now for Santoso. And it's good to make it 14-0. Santoso now to send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jaguars are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And that makes the score 21-0. Santoso now to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Wilson. Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target. Finding room at midfield. Look at the big man rumble. Inside the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 78 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You can do one of two things after a penalty. You can hang your head, or you can get mad and redouble your efforts. I think we just saw the latter there as they stopped him for no gain.
Williams is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. To throw is Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Foyesade American. And the Jaguars are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
An excellent pick up to 34 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And they'll run with Etienne. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Travis Etienne on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars are able to add on to their first-half lead. Santoso now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Santoso now to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jags are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, Etienne. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Lawrence to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Returning it, here's Hamler. A good head-down running on the return, gets about 15 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams. And it's a fumble. And the Jags grab it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Etienne up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Lawrence fires the out route and completes it to Harris. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. action. It's Lawrence. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And they'll go again with Etienne. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Evan Ingram, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And that makes this 35-0 now. Santoso now to send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this.
And now here's another interception. Picked by Chad Muma. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. A give to Etienne running right. Runs through another. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 81 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Straight ahead, Etienne. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A handoff for Etienne. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard, now to the 16.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, how about that? You use a high draft pick on this guy back in April, hoping he'll grow into a role as the season progresses. And now look at this, a pick six in his very first NFL game.
Sometimes the evaluation doesn't match what the kid brings to the table. He progressed quickly.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, Lawrence, quick slant caught by Kirk. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Etienne. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Open man. He completes it to Judy. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Chad Muma. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
ETN with it. 101 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
That's a nice run to get himself back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular, but a good confidence-building run.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Another tote for ETN. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A loss of 2 there, second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They went,
and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, CD, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have directed with.
Santoso now to send this one away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
After the sack on first down, Wilson And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're ready to go out, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. They'll run. It's ETN. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's ETN. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 136 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A give running right, ETN. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his track. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. When you get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gambled with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Hey, Derek.
Santoso now to send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
2nd and 20. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got room. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The city always a little extra excited for week 1. And one of the early window games here in week 1 as Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate food from all of the base. My ace boom goon, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style, on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm beyond Sanders on haters. This ice bucket dropping over their head with it. They should have cred with it. You either fight or flight. I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stocked my bare kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The Alpha and Omega promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the sci-fi my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos, knocking those down no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made, walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser, I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let you heard, we eatin', talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad, pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab, pay what it cost for the tab, extra with the bag, young Cruiser King, better add extra on the. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
Boys make